and I am the founder and principal strategist of Connexions marketing agency. And we are starting a series today. This is our second in the series called Expert Connexions. We are reaching out to the experts that are a part of our community, that are part of our client base, and we are featuring their stories and their insights right here on Facebook as we all deal with coronavirus or COVID-19. So as we face these changes and challenges ahead with coronavirus, we are reaching out to the experts in our community. Now, a few hours ago, we talked with a professional biohazard cleaning expert about what his team is dealing with right now to help, especially for high traffic businesses, things like schools and banks and homes. Now we're going to turn our attention to health and wellness. And joining me today, joining us to talk about health and wellness is Kathryn Trestain, a former correspondent who traveled the globe, lived around the world, always with a passion for healthcare. Now Kathryn is a health and wellness coach. Kathryn, thank you so much for joining us and taking some time out of your day.
Oh, thank you for having me, Julie. Good afternoon, everybody.
So we are all hunkered down in our homes. We are in this together, as we like to say, Kathryn. And you and I have been having a lot of conversations about health and wellness, everything from our physical well-being and the concerns that we have for our families, but also our mental health and our mental well-being. And so I'm so glad that you agreed to share your expertise with our community so we can talk about some of these things today. For those of you at home, if you are feeling a little overwhelmed, a little unsure, a lot of mixed messages out there on what we should be doing or shouldn't be doing. And so Kathryn is joining us to kind of break some of this down today. And Kathryn, I want to start with some practical things to do to stay well. What are some of your go-to tips for those of us who are trying to figure all of this out?
Absolutely. And I think you said something that's really key, and that's like, let's not be reactive. Public safety and health are absolutely paramount at this time. But mindset is paramount too. And we'll talk about that in a bit during these uncertain times. But one thing that just to stay well is eating clean food. I know a lot of people are running to the stores to get provisions. And let's think about what kinds of foods that we want to put in our body, what kind of nourishing foods during this time, right, to keep us above the wellness line. So junk food is out. Like, that's not even an option during these times. Sugar, all those things, I wouldn't even have those on my radar.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that, Kathryn, because I think we turn to comfort food, right?
Yes.
But whether it's us or for our kids, the pop, the chips, the popcorn, but you're totally right. We have to look at what we're nourishing our bodies with, because we need our immune systems to stay strong.
Absolutely. Yes. And high carb comfort foods, that you're right. That's kind of our go-to when we're afraid, right? They make us feel better in the short term. And for, it's momentary, but to keep our immune systems really strong, we want to eat really clean food. And I'm thinking, when you go to the store, maybe 2 to 3 weeks of provisions, things like frozen fruits and vegetables, that will keep for you. Grass-fed butter, coconut oil. You want to have a lot of healthy fats in your diet. Avocados would be really great. We want to think about nourishing the body. So nourishing bone broths, whether you buy organic bone broth from like Kettle and Fire, or whether you just have it going in your Instant Pot or crock pot going all the time. Let's see, grass-fed meats. Whoops, I dropped something. Grass-fed meats are really great. That's another healthy fat. Wild-caught fish. You just want to think about eating clean. And there's a farm. If you're in the Michigan area, there's a farm on the western side of the state. It's in Ravenna, Michigan. They actually do deliveries to Lansing once a month, but it's called Creswick Farms. And their meat is out of this world. And I know that they've had long lines around their farm, but you can go to creswickfarms.com. You can call Nathan. That is a farm in this state that I absolutely 1,000,000% put my stamp of approval on. I'm drinking a lot of nourishing infusions. So that means herbs that sit overnight in hot water. And I'm also drinking, this is a whole food supplement. It's called Ningxia Red. This comes from Young Living and out of Utah. And you can get it in packets or you can get it in the bottle. And it's a whole food infused with 4 essential oils, all citrus oils, which boost your immune system. And it's the wolfberry. It's the Ningxia wolfberry, and it's the seed, the peel, and the pulp. So this is a whole food supplement. So those are just some of my go-tos as far as food. And then don't forget your pets. Don't forget to, to stock up on food for your pets and to get them maybe some omega-3s for pets. Nordic Naturals makes a great omega for dogs and cats, and that kind of boosts their immune system during this time. And if you are a Ningxia Red drinker, you can give this to your dogs and cats as well, and horses, and all the animals.
Excellent. And so what I'm hearing you say, Katherine, is obviously we really need to focus on our own health right now and keeping our immune systems boosted. I love some of the examples of things that you gave. Love Creswick Farms, another favorite of ours from Connexions. And I see that Nathan is here and he just shared his page. So definitely be sure to check that out. And really the overall point here is take a look at what you're putting into your bodies. Make sure that it's healthy, that it's nourishing you, that it's helping you to stay well, so that you can continue both physically and mentally to deal with what's happening here. Katherine, I want to, if you could, bear with me here. So you listed a lot of things that are just really wonderful things to nourish our bodies. But if I'm someone who's hearing this for the first time, and this is sounding really drastic to me, what are some provisions that we actually need in our homes right now? So forget about the run on toilet paper. We should all be fully stocked up on TP for a while. But what are some provisions that we actually should be looking for? So maybe just, maybe 3 to 5 items that if you were to go to a store right now, what would you recommend for our viewers?
So non-food items, like as far as supplements?
Yes.
Yeah.
What
and I love what you said about, we don't want to overwhelm, right? So if you just think about maybe just cutting out the sugar, if you have access to Ningxia, this would be a great thing to add to your diet. But just think about meats, vegetables, just go easy on yourself. Don't try to, change your entire kitchen in one day, and just think maybe just no sugar right now.
That's a great
part. Yeah, as far as some supplements, vitamin C is always great to boost the immune system, during this time of year, whether October through March is a great time to take a whole food vitamin C. So not something that's synthetic, not something that's isolated, because the body really can't use that. The body knows what to do with 10,000 phytonutrients found in an apple. The body knows what to do with whole food. So you want a whole food vitamin C. D3 is great. Make sure you get a D3 with K2. I love Rosita cod liver oil. That's a whole food, but that is so good for your immune system. And a probiotic. I use these probiotics from Young Living. Any good probiotic. And then let me think one more thing. I'm using a lot of antiviral oils right now. I'm using a product called Inner Defense, and I'll just talk about the oils that are in it. So it has thieves oil, which Young Living is very famous for. It has things like oregano and thyme and lemongrass, and those are all powerful antivirals. So when you just think of those oils and what they can do in the body. So there's 5 things that you can do right there.
Excellent. And Katherine, we should mention you are a leader in Young Living, and so it's something that you recommend wholeheartedly. You use it for your own health. I use it for my health. And so definitely these are some of the things that we're incorporating into our conversation today, in addition to the fruits and veggies and healthy meats and fats, as you mentioned previously, that we should be incorporating into our diets. I also want to talk now, if we can switch gears just a little bit, on how to detox our homes. There's a lot of concern right now about what we're bringing home with us. We have this concept right now that we are hopefully all taking part in, which is social distancing, which is why you and I right now are not in the same room. We are connecting virtually for this live chat. So as we look at home cleaning and detox, earlier today, I want to mention that just a couple hours ago, I had another client of ours on, Puro Clean of Mid-Michigan, talking about the professional cleaning services they provide to large traffic areas like schools and financial institutions and grocery stores and nursing homes. And so as we look at that, what are some of those takeaways for us in our own homes so that we can keep our own families safe? What do you recommend as far as a home detox, and what should we be looking for to make sure that our detoxing is not toxic?
Yes. Oh, wow. That is so, I'm so happy that you asked about that, because gosh, there is so much poison, right, in personal care products and home cleaners. And it is so important that we are cleaning with something that is potent, but that is also not toxic for our body, and that's going to compromise our immune system. Young Living, we are famous for Thieves, which I just talked about, the Thieves oil, but we've got a whole Thieves kit, and we're actually offering a sale, $25 off on our Thieves starter kit, our Thieves home cleaning kit right now. So if that's something that interests you, you can, just comment in the links below or shoot me a message, shoot Julie a message. But I do think that is really important, whether you're getting it from Young Living, whether you're doing some kind of DIY at home, maybe making your own cleaner, but that you're not adding to your body burden by using these toxic chemicals.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Young Living. And I know Young Living, like many companies out there, have stepped up production in order to keep up with the stock and keep up with the supply and demand. Kathryn, you had mentioned to me in conversation several weeks ago about the Thieves supply in China. And at one point, Hong Kong, I'm going to let you say it because I'm going to say it wrong, but Hong Kong had sold out of Thieves.
Hong Kong completely sold out of Thieves. Europe sold out of Thieves. The US sold out yesterday, and they ramped up production, so Thieves should be back tomorrow morning. We went through 90,000 bottles of these in the US alone yesterday. So these just flew off the shelves. This is a hand sanitizer. This says hand purifier, but we've gotten approval from the FDA and the FTC now to call it a hand sanitizer and to actually refer to it as an over-the-counter that kills 99.98% of bacteria, germs, all the things. So that's not on this label, but the new bottles will have that. And I think one of the things to remember when you're using essential oil-based cleaner, wherever you get them from, and of course I recommend ours because they are the purest oils on the face of the earth, but you're also, so you're getting the cleaning power, but you're also getting the power of those oils. And Thieves especially, I love that when I clean with the Thieves cleaning line, whether it be the dish soap or the laundry soap or the foaming hand soap, I love that I get these immune boosting beneficial molecules in my body that are actually, they're not only not hurting me, but they're actually helping me, and they're beneficial for my immune system. And so, what a relief. And that really makes me happy. And I know as an auntie, and I know your sister as a mama, I know that makes her happy.
Absolutely. Well, I had the little ones over this weekend, and I can tell you, the youngest, who's 3, was having some tummy aches on top of everything else going on, and whether it was anxiety or otherwise, tummy jives was our go-to to keep her up and moving this weekend. So, and I want to talk about some of these oils in particular in a minute, because you do focus on holistic health, and so that is your main area, one of your main areas of expertise. Before we do, though, we have a comment from Nathan who says, everyone's anxiety is drawing down on their ability to resist illness. There's the comment right there. And so, Kathryn, if you don't mind, I want to talk about that just very briefly, if that's okay, because we're talking about things to keep our bodies healthy physically. We're talking about things to keep our homes healthy. But also there's a lot going on right now as far as the emotional support that we need. And even I think the strongest of us still are faced with a lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions, whether that be financial questions, concerns about businesses. So what are some of your go-tos when it comes to dealing with anxiety, as Nathan has mentioned here?
Thank you for that question, Nathan. That is a great, great question. I do heavily draw on oils. I've been muscle testing pretty high for harmony and common sense. I use oils like Valor for courage and joy. And then also let's raise our vibration. Let's really be aware that we're and consciously decide to not dwell on the fear. So I'm doing things like I'm turning off my phone. I'm turning off my router at night. I'm kind of downshifting to a healing state. And I'm refusing to let the cultural landscape sort of pull me into this, lead me down this sort of path of fear. Virus is absolutely contagious, but let's remember that fear is contagious, but so is love, peace, joy, kindness, happiness. Those things are contagious too. And we can overcome fear, we can overcome panic, we can overcome anxiety with gratitude. I love, and you know what, Julie, gratitude and Nathan, gratitude and fear cannot even coexist at the same time in the brain. So I will wake up in the morning. I do this quite often throughout the day, but I go through, all the things I'm grateful for. I at least try to do 10 things I'm grateful for in the morning and at night. But one thing that's really been working so well for me is when I get into a state of panic, I do this, what I call a gratitude rampage. And I'm just, maybe for a minute or so, I'm just like, wow, I am thankful for that light. I'm thankful for my eyes that I can see. I'm thankful for my nose that I can smell. I'm so thankful for Julie. I'm thankful for my friend Nathan. I'm so thankful for the oils. And I just keep going on and on until I can actually feel a mindset shift. And boy, that has been monumental for me.
I love what you were saying, Kathryn, about what's contagious. I mean, that is amazing. So hope is contagious. Joy is contagious. Love is contagious. Smiles are contagious. Yes. I love that so much. What a great reminder that is.
It's so true, right? And I have these affirmation cards that I use also. So I'll do my gratitude and then I'll use affirmation cards. And today, the card that I pulled, actually, I pulled a couple of them, but it was so ironic. Health is my power. I am healthy. I am energetic. I am vibrant.
For that.
I am nourished and whole, and I radiate excellent health. How beautiful is that? And speak that over ourselves. And then the other card I pulled was a card about safety. I am safe. I am secure. I am protected. So I think doing affirmations is really powerful, and doing some sort of gratitude challenge or gratitude rampage every day, but especially when you get into these tough emotional states, it really, really helps. And yes, joy is contagious. Gratitude is contagious.
And there's an oil for that.
And there's an oil for that. We have an oil called gratitude. This is a divine opportunity for us, I think, sort of to pull back and to, remember the things that are most important to us. Research shows that we do become what we think about. And if we dwell on the positive, we will attract the positive. And if we dwell on the negative, we are going to lower our frequency, our vibration, and that is exactly what we're going to attract. So let's raise our vibrations and let's consciously decide to have a positive mindset.
I love that message so much, Kathryn. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more later this week. We're going to have psychotherapist and national public speaker Joyce Martyr joining us later this week to talk more about some of these things that you're talking about, mindfulness and meditation and yoga and different practices to really help draw on our mental health and on our strengths right now. So I love that message, Kathryn. And I think this is really also a time for us to pull together in community. Now, not physically, not, we're going to miss those hugs for a while. We're going to miss those gatherings because we are, again, practicing social distancing, and which is important, right? We need to keep that top of mind, but there are other ways for us to connect with each other, and certainly connecting in communities like this, connecting with experts like you who are sharing your insights. I really appreciate you taking the time today. If our viewers would like to connect with you to talk further about any of these topics, Kathryn, what's a good way for them to get a hold of you?
Yeah, they can comment. They can comment right here, right?
Yep.
Or they can. Yep. I'll put a link in the comments section, and they can certainly shoot me a message through Facebook Messenger.
Wonderful. Awesome. Thank you. And before we go, Kathryn, you also shared with me that you have some ways that you really focus on when it comes to your own health. And so I always love to ask our coaches, especially our health and wellness coaches, what do you do? So I know what you advise, other people to do. What do you focus on? Like, what's your regimen for your own health right now during this challenging time?
Thank you for asking that. Actually, all of the things that I spoke about here are the things that I'm doing in my own home. So, the healthy foods, the nourishing bone broth, the oils, Ningxia for sure, all the live long day. Hydration is key. One thing that I have not been doing this week, which I normally do, is coffee. So I'm avoiding caffeine because that is really drying for the body. Antihistamines, you don't want to do that. And I've been using two things that I didn't talk about, a neti pot, because you really want to keep your sinuses moist. You don't want anything dry. If you could have a humidifier going, I have diffusers going, obviously, with oils all over the house, so that's getting water into the air. And I keep my bathtubs full with water so that disperses water, that keeps the house moist. So that's another thing that I'm doing. And then I make a nose salve with a cream. I'm using Young Living's rose ointment. And then I put a couple of oils in there, and I'll just insert a little bit of that salve or cream just in each nostril a few times a day, just to make sure that I'm breathing in the oils and keeping those mucous membranes really moist and supported with the oils.
Such great advice. And of course, if you are new to oils or new to holistic healing of any sort, certainly reach out and consult with someone who has information so you can do so safely. Kathryn Trestain would be a great person to connect to, and she's going to leave her contact information right here in this thread below this video, so you can reach out to her at any time. Kathryn, thank you so much. This was really enlightening and also just really helpful to have some peace of mind and to have this advice and to have some key, takeaway items that we can take and do starting right now in our own homes for our families. So Kathryn, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're so welcome, Julie. It's so great to see you virtually, and stay safe, stay warm, and stay healthy.
Thank you, Kathryn. You too. And for those of you watching, join us all week long as we highlight services available to help as we all make adjustments during this time. We will offer a special Q&A series with experts in business, health, and wellness at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Stephanie Barnhill will join me live to talk about how to transition your business to running remotely. A lot of people are being thrown into this situation. Working from home sounds great until suddenly you're doing it on the fly, and suddenly you might have kiddos running around the house who you are maybe trying to homeschool and maybe trying to work with. And if you're feeling unprepared, we have got you covered tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Our team at Connexions has been working remotely for 3 years. So we've learned some ups and a lot of downs on communication and how to make this work. So we're also going to share with you not just our thoughts, but we're going to give you some tech platforms, some tips and tricks when it comes to communication. So you won't want to miss that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. All of you, thank you for joining us. We have a full line of experts joining us all week long, so stay tuned. Give our Connections page a like, follow our events, turn on notifications so you stay in the know, and we'll have a new expert for you each day as part of our Expert Connections series. Thank you all again for joining us, and we will see you back here tomorrow morning.